Hello friends, this is Dr. Argo Chatterjee and I welcome you all to the last section of part 3 of mental health and homeopathy. In the last 2 weeks, we have been spoke about how suppressed emotions can lead to the development of various kind of chronic pathological diseases and how treating this simple mental symptoms or health mental conditions can help in also treating various kind of chronic diseases. Uh, we have also learned in the last week that the how vital how vital is the mental health of a child in developing an adult mind. Uh, in the last 2 weeks, we have talked with our two speakers, Dr. Gaurang Gaikwad from Mumbai, representing West, and Dr. Sheetal Bidri, representing the South. So now let's go towards the North and let's talk with Dr. Yashika Arora. Uh, as a speaker, she is well renowned and she has been organizing seminars and webinars through throughout the time of her internship period as well. Most of the homeopathic fraternity already knows her, and even so, one thing which makes her stand out from many other people in the crowd is her exceptional kindness. um, I have only known Dr. Yashika for last 1 year, and from the very limited interactions I had with her, she has been a very good friend to me. And what I can tell you is that she is an exceptionally kind person. We all know in treating any kind of mental problems, in trying to restore mental health of a person, one has to be a very empathetic and in certain places also sympathetic to the patient. In various places, a person should be not only passionate about his practice, that is, a doctor should not only be passionate about his practice, but he should empathize with the patient itself. And today, the person we are going to meet is a very kind person who is very much empathetic and is always there to help people around. This is one of those finest qualities of doctor which we all need to cultivate within ourselves. So, without wasting further time, let's invite Dr. Yashika Arora. Go. So, let's welcome Dr. Yashika Arora to the conversation. Hello, Yashika ji, how are you?
I'm
Can you
good.
hear me?
Yeah, I'm good. You tell.
मैं भी एकदम बढ़िया and actually it's a long time after that we are speaking, so it even feels very much better. So, Dr. Yashika, first thing I would like to ask you is that what kind of cases do you get in your place, the online consultations and the clinical consultations combined? What are the sort of cases do you get?
So nowadays, if you talk about or when you're talking about before COVID times, this pandemic times, so there are so many variety of patients which were used to come and which are coming nowadays. So first of all, I would like to mention few of the cases like which become which female disorders like PCOD, fibroids. Most of the cases which we are dealing right now are obviously chronic in nature, whether on online consultation, teleconsultations, or if we are dealing at clinics. So most of the patients, if you talk about them, they're suffering from one or the other chronic disorders like PCOD. You can talk about fibroids. They're coming, or some of the patients are coming with UTIs, acute and chronic both. You can talk about lifestyle disorders. There are many lifestyle disorders like diabetes mellitus, thyroid. Many of the cases which are coming up with lifestyle disorders, or you can talk about anxiety, depression. anxiety. Nowadays, depression patients have increased because of the lockdown times, which are creating many of the problems for each category of people, whether he's at job, whether he's at school, or whether he's a home person. So there are many patients like, and before also, if you talk about the before. During the clinic timings, like before the pandemic, so there were many patients who used to come with arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis patients, many females with RA, and osteoarthritis patients, many skin disorders. If you talk about like psoriasis, there are fungal infections, many of the cases with fungal infections, tinea and ringworm, and many of the cases which are coming up, and plus respiratory problems also, like asthma, COPD, like the patients which were used to come before also, so they are continuing obviously for their respiratory complaints. There are many patients which are coming up like these of these nature.
Okay. But you said in between that patients are coming on with depression and anxiety. So you are getting cases which are of other pathologies with this complaints, or you are getting directly patients coming to you with this complaint that they are feeling down or they are feeling anxious and these kind of mental symptoms only.
So
What kind
when
of
you talk
patients are you getting?
So when you talk about these depression, anxiety patients, so many of them, you can say they're coming through the online consultations, like online Practo, and people look on for various websites and online things. So they see that homeopathy has much scope in depression and anxiety, because it acts as on the physical as well as the mental level. So people do come when you talk about depression directly, in fact, through Practo, through online, or through after looking on for many of the things on websites, etc. So maybe some of them have already taken allopathic medications, and they're so much tired of taking these medications, antidepressants and everything. So they come to to homeopath, to the clinic, so as to get treatment, better treatment, and a curative treatment. They would say that they won't have to take such antidepressants which may harm them in the upcoming future.
True. And even so, when you said ki you are treating many cases of hormonal disorders like PCOD or uterine fibroid, we know from that most of this kind of diseases occurs in the HPO axis, that is hypothalamus, pituitary, and
Pituitary.
ovarian axis. And
Yeah.
even so, this chain of reactions is disrupted also by emotions. So most of the PCOD, uterine fibroid cases are also, I guess, are psychosomatic in origin in your clinic as well.
Yeah,
Hello.
exactly. Because this axis and the whole body is so much connected physically and mentally. So whatever bad happens at mental level, they may show it on at the physical level, or if there is something which is which is disturbing the mind, disrupting the mind. Obviously, it affects each and every aspect. And when you talk about hormones, so the endocrine system is very much affected by stress, by many of the things which are happening over the mind. So
Even so,
they
emotions, grief, everything has
yeah,
a very big effect on the endocrine system. Even
exactly,
thyroid
exactly,
is also affected. So
exactly. It's a
when we are
stress. Yeah.
so moving on further, I would like to actually ask you, what is your approach whenever you are dealing with, say, when you are treating an PCOD case or uterine fibroid case or any case which is in origin? We are saying psychosomatic. Now, many homeopaths or many doctors in basically modern medicine, most of the diseases are organ specific. Like for female disorders, gynae is handling all the cases. For gastroenterology, for gastric cases, there's a gastroenterologist. There are different branches to handle different parts of the human body. So, but in homeopathy also, we are seeing that many people are approaching cases, or like some are totally going towards a physical outlook and some are even just going towards a mental outlook. So
Yeah.
in this thing, what do you feel, what is your approach in as an homeopath? Do you take a physical approach or mental approach, or you combine them both to find a totality of symptoms? What do you do?
So, okay. So I will answer this question according to one sequence. Like, see, when a person is stumbling upon so much stress, oodles of stress, you can say, and he is unable to cope up with that stress. So what body does it expresses physical symptoms, which we call as which lead to the psychosomatic disorders. Like they have the patient's mind is so much messed up that it expresses physical symptoms. So when you talk about homeopathy, homeopathy is a very beautiful science which actually appreciates the psychological source of all our somatic symptoms or all our bodily symptoms. So
True.
they hello.
Yes, true. I'm just
Yeah, so the homeopathic remedies function at the mental level as well as body level collectively. So when you are taking a case and you dealing with the case, you should take at the I prefer to take the totality considering the physical, the mental challenge, the cause of the disease very much precisely, and so that this homeopathic intervention which I am going to give to the patient, so I can treat the patient. I'm not treating the disease. I'm treating the patient. As per the homeopathic
exactly,
guidelines, we try to treat the individual. So we need
exactly.
to offer a positive health change to the patient whenever we are dealing with any chronic disease, whether it's a case of depression or anxiety or these hormonal changes, which have a cause there at the mental level. So if you want to treat the case from the root of the disease, so you need to take the totality considering the whole of the patient, whether it's, you find something characteristic at the physical level or you find something characteristic at the mental level, like somebody died. Somebody died in in a close relative of the patient and he developed such symptoms. Or now you can see nowadays, like there are so many people who are suffering, who are doing office jobs in private companies. They're suffering from so many problems. The companies giving pressure, the companies throwing out their employees because of this COVID pandemic and recession time. So there are people suffering from various illnesses, and they are developing suicidal behavior. Like today only I had a case of a suicide.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, can you
now
please
I'm
repeat?
audible.
Yeah, you are
I'm
audible.
audible.
Yes, you
So
are.
when you like today only I had a case of a patient who was from depression. He's having an acute depression since a few months. He changed his job because he was being thrown out by some other company, and then he has developed. He was having a very good relationship there in the previous company, and then now he has developed suicidal thoughts and overthinking, and he is very much frustrated that he has destroyed his life and just want to die. So I had to counsel him. I had to give him homeopathic medicine, and I have had to take the whole totality, like physicals, mentals, the cause, as well as the individuality of that patient, as well as I had to counsel him because he was developing such thoughts that may affect his lifestyle. He was overthinking. Because of that, he was he was very much prone to go towards suicide. So that's why
Suicide.
I had to counsel him along with the homeopathic medicines, because though homeopathic medicine will act, but then counseling would also affect and it will strike the mind of the patient. Because when a doctor is explaining, and whether when a doctor is counseling his patient, so he does it with a positive aura, and that aura also transfers to the patient. So I try my level best to take the whole totality and consider all these things, and I try my level best to restore the patient to restore the patient to sick to the health, as said in the aphorism one, rather than just treating the disease and sending him home, taking my peace. Or whether it's on teleconsultation, I try my level best to make a video call to the patient, to try my level best to console the patient and make him better, so that that would bring on something good to our pathy actually. So this is what is my technique.
Actually, talking about aura, we all know about your positivity, and you
Okay,
exert a very positive aura to everyone
thank you.
around you. And as being your friend, I can tell you that you have got a positive impact around most of the people around you. And as a whole, as a doctor itself, you are quite a healer. So and it's a very good quality as a doctor you have. So talking about that, a very unique thing actually came up within your conversation, is that many people in your locality, basically I'm saying about northern India, are opening up about their emotions, what they're feeling. And even so, when a person is feeling on the brink of suicidal tendencies, he's still opening up to you as a doctor. So now, if you look to our side, that is the eastern side, states like Bihar, Bengal, Orissa, UP, these kind of states, and it's very difficult to actually get out any emotions in the patient. Even so, while treating various kind of pathological psychosomatic diseases also, which we even get a hint with retrospective analysis while doing taking a case, but still when we try to even go a little bit more deeper to understand what actually has caused this uh, trauma or emotional outbreak in that person, most of the people are generally put close. And even so, what you're saying is suicide. Basically, if you see patients in my clinic, even most of them generally never come up with this thing, that they are never going to say it on their own, that they are having suicidal impulses, or they were on the verge of having a suicidal impulse in the past also. They are very closed about it. They don't express a lot. Basically, I try to find it out through physical symptoms. Like, even so, while taking a short mental general itself, like even from the desire of darkness, or even how they speak or smile. Basically, when a patient comes in my clinic and smiles a lot, basically I'm saying this as a practical approach itself. When a person comes up and smiles a lot, with who has got a chronic pathological disorders in his body, which is evident from reports and his all his symptoms, but still keeps on smiling, I have to think of, like, I have to question whether that smile is genuine or not. Is genuine, or he masking something? And because of Dr. Sarkar, actually, in I have learned how to read repertory and use repertory. And it would be very surprising to tell you that most of the smiling patients, they belong to Aurum group of personalities.
Okay.
Belladonna and
So
Aurum
I
group.
Yeah,
Belladonna
true.
and
You are
Aurum.
absolutely, yeah, you are absolutely right. Because I will just tell you this thing, that it's not about Northern India or Eastern India or anywhere. You will find such kind of patients everywhere. In my practice
Yes,
also, there are
they
some
do, but
patients which are
definitely there
coming
are
up,
some patients.
which are
There are
coming up,
some.
like they hide
Hmm.
things and they are very hideous, and they try to show off something else to the doctor, and then they are actually different. So where the this where you can sort out this problem is the art of case taking and building a rapport with the patient. So when you build a good rapport with the patient, in fact,
Exactly.
he won't come to me and say this on the first visit. I was talking about the patient which came today. So he was a referred patient of one more patient. So that patient's best friend he was. So she already told me that, doctor, he was telling me something about suicidal thoughts and he was very much negative about life. So I took the case accordingly. So there where it comes the role of a homeopath who is taking a case, and you need to take the case very nicely, very completely, because there are patients who hide, and in fact you will get to know the Aurum patient, maybe the Aurum patient, the fourth visit and the third visit here, when you have built a good rapport with the patient, that he's so frank with you and he'll tell everything to you. So there are each and everywhere patients who come up, like in North India also and this also. So you need to judge the patient, and this fake smile which brings on which comes on many of the patients face. So when you talk about this fake smile or the smile which belongs to Belladonna
Smiling while
group, or
answering.
huh?
Smiling when answering.
Yeah, so I'll just smile
You're
while
smiling.
answering. So yeah, so Belladonna and Aurum group. So
Hmm.
Belladonna and Aurum group. Well, I do have some characteristics of Aurum, some characteristics of Phosphorus, some characteristics of Calcarea, some characteristics of Kali. So everybody has different characteristics. So yes, you can say I'm
Definitely.
smiling while answering this question. So they belong to each. In fact, so Phosphorus also patient. Some patient, when you see, they'll smile when you see the Phosphorus patient. just because of their magnetic personality and many of the other things. So you don't need to judge the patient that if he is smiling, then he will surely be belladonna or
I'm
he'll
not
surely be
saying that
aurum.
I
Yeah.
never actually judge the patient, but even so, what I actually wanted to tell you
Yeah,
about this,
I'm just guiding just to update people that doesn't needs to judge the patient what he's doing. It's
never
just that you need to observe well. You need to observe well.
exactly.
You need to create a rapport with the patient so that he develops some trust on you. Then only he'll going to explode everything to you out. Like he's explored out something
Even
to you. Otherwise, he
even so,
won't.
what I sorry. Uh, Even so, what I understood uh, through through this case, actually, what I wanted to actually say is that even that person had gotten, it was not just a suspicious smile and everything, but with the thorough case taking, not taking the mental part as a whole, but through thorough case taking, I just got to find out that he had a perfect picture of autumn. But when actually asked about it, if he had any kind of thoughts like this before, he straightly denied. Okay. So, but is
Patients do.
still, and still, I actually prescribed an autoimmune nat. And on the further consultation, when I again talked to that person, he she actually said she has tried it, and she showed her wrist actually.
So see the beauty of your knowledge and the beauty of homeopathy that
This
the
is
medicine reached out the right person and it was it was actually a miracle, no? So yes,
definitely, well, I believe that. And
yeah.
so this is the kind of what I was actually trying to say. Okay, homeopathy does a lot of wondrous things when given properly, and this is how we try to approach cases from our end, because many of us are looped into thinking by the patient that even though we are asking so many things on a physical general level, they feel like they can mask themselves very often, but it is quite the opposite, that through some physical generals itself it can be exposed of what they are thinking. And we wanted to know what is your approach in taking mental cases. And you also said you do counseling for your patients as well, which is very much important in most of the chronic cases nowadays, which is of psychosomatic in kind. And actually psychosomatic, when we are talking about, we are seeing many of the cases are psychosomatic symptoms, like most but complex pathologies when they are developing, which is when we are talking about psychosomatic disorders or diseases in question, then there is a quite fine chance that it has been a very chronic in nature, which has caused in development of all this psychosomatic disorder. So in these cases, what is your approach whenever you are say, in my clinic, what I do is treat the patient layer wise. If because from Ken's evaluation of symptoms, we have always learned that mental symptoms have a higher hierarchy than the physical symptoms. So I generally tend to treat my patients in layer wise. If there is a strong mental causation through which I see the disease has originated, I tend to treat that first, and then after that I'll go to the physical general, means taking up the whole case as a whole. But if a medicine I am being suggested by the whole case, which is I would definitely prescribe that first, and not any other medicines first. So in your experience of clinic and your cases, I would like to ask you this: what is your approach in this kind of cases? Do you make a totality evenly from a physical and mental point of view, and give a medicine according to both, which suffices both of the things, or will you go for the causation and address it first, then go to a totality? Because I have seen most of
Okay.
the cases, when you are giving, even I'm just saying, this person whom I prescribed autoimmune NAC, it was a total combination of aurum and natramure. So I gave autoimmune NAC, and it was basically, I gave a very high potency at the beginning of the case itself, and it actually brought down most of his physical complaints as well, along with the mental outbreak that he was having always, desire for darkness like autumn, and these kind of impulses, that suicidal impulses. On the next visit, it was very much said that he wasn't feeling that in those kind of impulses within him, and he was mentally much calmer than before and much more feeling a little bit more hopeful towards life rather than being hopeless. So, what is your approach, Dr. Yashika?
Dr. Chatterjee, when we talk about such cases, so my approach is usually mainly on the causative factor first. If the patient is coming with a chronic disease and there was some causative factor which led wherein I find in the history taking that there is something linked to that cause or their mental level cause, so I give priority to that mental cause. Like if you talk about death of the patient or some death of the relative that transformed that patient, that led to a disease, nitric acid is coming up. There are many patients who have a acute some problem, and then you lead to the remedy of ignatia, or you lead to the remedy natrum mur, or you lead to the remedy aurum metallicum or aurum neonatum. So if there is something in the cause and you find that 2 years back this happened, and then since 2 years his health is deteriorating, so I usually give preference to the cause first. Otherwise, if there is no relation to the cause, or there is no relation which can exactly pinpoint the patient that he had some mental trauma or some mental background, mental history, so I go for the whole totality, in fact, I try to include the thermal reaction of the patient also, and the desire aversion also. If there is something uncommon, or if there is uncommon perspiration, something uncommon I get, something characteristic I get for the patient, I do in the whole totality, and then only I try to prescribe the best similimum as per my knowledge, or as per my uh, knowledge of materia medica organon. So on the basis of all these things, I go for it. So I hope I have made my part clear.
So, Dr. Yashika, it's been a wonderful experience having you here. Any message you would like to give to our young generation of homeopaths who are just uh, walking out of their colleges or starting their clinic? Any messages for them?
So there are many messages which I can give to the upcoming practitioners, so that they can get something good in homeopathy in their future. But since we have a short time, so I just want to give a message to every homeopath who is just coming out of the college, or he's still studying in the college. So just be passionate about homeopathy. Focus upon focus upon your studies, focus upon the knowledge, focus upon clinical aspect of homeopathy when you are doing it when you are doing it as a when you want to do practice at a clinic, or if you want to go for some government job or something, so do hard work according to it, and but never ever break the
Give up.
principles of homeopathy. Never ever give up, plus never ever break the principles of homeopathy. Just follow the principles as our master has given, and accordingly you're going to do miracles and wonders in your future.
This is the thing we wanted to hear actually, and it's been I'm very thankful to you for your time, and I hope you
It's my
do
pleasure.
very good in your future endeavors, and wishing you all the best for your life.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arga. So I'm really thankful to you for inviting me to this discussion, and just discussing on such an innovative thing, so that people can get something good out of this short video. So I'm thankful to you, and I also give my best wishes to you. You do something great, something best, I would say, in your future, and you reach to the heights of success because of your passion, because of your hard work. Actually, you also very hardworking and doing something different. You want to do something for the homeopathic society. So I'm glad to be with
Whole
you on
YouTube,
this platform here. So thank you so much
most welcome. This whole
for
YouTube,
this session.
this whole YouTube endeavor is actually to help out everyone who is just starting off, and thanking you again for your time. So, have a great day and good night.
You too. Good night.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.